So, what's your name?
I'm Colin Scone.
And how old are you?
15.
And where are you from?
Issaquah, Washington.
And what do you want to do when you grow up?
Probably become a computer programmer or a marine biologist.
That has not changed. You've kind of stuck with that for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, because in school we had to do this assembly thing, and I want to become a marine biologist. I want to become a marine biologist a bit more than a computer programmer, but the pay is much better as a computer programmer.
I hear you. Like, starts at 75,000 a year.
Mm-hmm. And that's the average. That's the experienced pay for a marine biologist.
Interesting.
So.
But money's not important.
Yeah. Sure.
How important is it to you?
It's good to definitely have money, but not have an over amount of money, like to the point where you have too much money and either people are you get to the point where you start doing stuff that you wouldn't normally do, which can get you in a lot of trouble.
Like what?
Probably a lot of clubbing, or you can.
Women and cars, stuff like that.
Yeah, and also if you're enough into politics, you can start. If you have enough money, you can do some really stupid things like bribery and corruption, all that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. Great to see you.
Too.
As always.
Yeah.
What have you learned about yourself this year?
That I'm very different. In a way.
In what ways?
So we had to do this actually very recently. I think it was the Monday before this week, last Monday, not like the Monday after break. Mm-hmm. I had to read off a poem that we wrote, and mine was about pollution in Puget Sound and all that. So I asked everybody, because you had to have an intro, how many people think that that pollution in Puget Sound is a big problem and want to do something about it. Nobody raised their hand. So, there's that. I'm a very nerdy person, but not to. I'm right in the middle. I don't have the really. I'm not hanging out with, I guess, sort of the really nerd. I can say it because I am a nerd, but the really nerdy group. But I'm right on the line of the sort of normal people, all the identical people. I'm right on that line. So I have a couple friends on either side, but
Are there any normal people?
Well, when I say normal, I mean the identical people, the standard high schooler. The standard high schooler, the people that all dress the same and stuff like that.
And so how do you think you differ from the standard high school? So you're a little nerdier.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
I don't really follow the same fashion trend. I normally stick to myself a lot of the times.
Do you mean you like being alone?
I don't like being alone, but I'm fine with it. Or other people just can't stop talking with their friends, which can get really annoying in class. I've just been. I tried harder than a lot of other people. They joke around with a lot of stuff. For example, in science class, a lot of it is either expensive or dangerous. Because tomorrow we're going to be doing. We're going to be studying with cancer cells. Well, cancerous DNA. So that can be really dangerous. So I'm sort of scared with the group that I'm in right now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so.
But I'm totally intrigued that you feel different.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to be with the crowd. I That doesn't really feel like me.
Well, when I said you like to be alone, you said, what did you say?
I don't necessarily like being alone. Like, I do want to have friends to talk to and stuff like that, but I can function just fine alone.
You don't mind being alone?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you find friendships hard?
In a way, I mean, I do still have a couple. I have a couple friends that have really the exact same interests as me, and that's real. And even then, I still don't really have time to hang out with friends, and I don't really have any friends in my classes.
But you don't have time to hang out with friends?
I do sometime. Because over the weekend we're doing stuff, and I mean we do, but I haven't seen a couple of my friends in a really long time. So I guess they haven't had time because I mean they haven't been texting me, and they've just we haven't really been talking. So
Does that bother you?
not really, because one of my friends is he has a lot of work, he's in several after school clubs.
Mm-hmm.
And another friend, I really have one friend that I'm friends enough with to invite over, and I've got several friends that I'm friends enough with to talk to and laugh with, like at school, like during lunch and something. So
How's the girl thing going?
Are
you in love?
Not really.
Anybody kind of interested in, or?
There's one girl that I've known since 6th grade. We were friends in 6th grade. Like, we talked and stuff. But we sort of grew apart. We stopped talking in 7th grade because I was in Germany. And then after that, I haven't. I think she wasn't in any of my classes, so we didn't really have time to talk. And then this year she's in my first and second period classes. I started talking some more and stuff like that.
Are you sort of interested in her? Or?
Yeah, sort of.
What's her name?
Paulina.
Who?
Paulina.
Paulina. And is she interested in you, or can you tell?
Can't tell.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Why not?
No, I don't really know. Just.
It strikes me girls would be interested in you just because you're good looking and you're interesting. I mean, it doesn't strike me that they would run the other way.
I mean, they don't do that. There are a lot of girls in a lot of my classes that I've known since like kindergarten stuff, and there are several girls in my first and second period classes. Primarily, my first and second period class is the area where I know most of the people, and a lot of them I've known since like kindergarten, first and second grade. That's when that was a strange point of my school life where I had more lady friends than guy friends. That's because kindergarten, first and second grade was when people were acting like they're too cool and stuff like that. I just really did not like that. So the only people that felt the same way about those guys were girls. So, those were really the only people that I was able to talk with and have fun with, and so.
Are you interested, or are you just not yet? I mean, it's
not really yet.
I got you. Okay, so it doesn't occupy much of your thoughts yet. Okay.
No.
But didn't you tell me? Is it 4th grade or something? Where you dressed up like Michael Jackson to ask a girl?
No. No.
Does this ring a bell?
No.
You told me you dressed up like Michael Jackson and did a dance to ask a girl out or something like that.
No.
That doesn't ring a bell?
No.
Okay. But I do remember you also telling about a girl that had a big crush on you in first
Yeah.
grade,
Kindergarten.
kindergarten,
I do remember that.
who was after you like crazy,
Yeah.
and she moved.
Yeah, thank God. It got to the point where I was actually sort of scared. When the couple guy friends that I had, when I was talking with them, she'd just interrupt them, sometimes even shove them out of the way to talk to me, so.
It's weird to have to get a restraining order against a kindergarten.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Describe each member of your family using one word.
My sister, hers would probably be, loony. My dad, normal. Like normal for a dad's perspective. Mom, caring.
What about you?
Different.
In what way?
Most ways from a guy, in terms of a guy. Other than that, I'm a guy, so.
Really? Explain what you mean by that.
Well, I'm not really into sports. I'm not a sports person. I do watch sports with family and stuff like that, but I'm not really big in it. Like if I'm just playing around, because the one sport that I am into is tennis, because I was on the high school team, October to November. And I play a bit of soccer just with family. The two sports that I do, three I guess, is volleyball, golf, and tennis. The three not necessarily big guy sports.
Mm-hmm.
So.
You seem kind of hyper aware of what's accepted and not. Sort of what's
Because
gender specific.
I've been to two different middle schools, especially elementary and middle schools. So I've seen like what's common between the two, because they're such a vast, because they're in opposite hemispheres, the two. So once you find connections between the two, you know that's something that is very common amongst them.
Right. And where are you at school now?
Like, how do you mean?
Where do you go to school now?
Oh, Skyline.
Skyline.
Mm-hmm.
So this has been your first year of high school?
Yeah.
What's it been like?
Not as hard as I've come to believe.
What's it been like socially?
Socially, like middle school, just fine.
Okay. What are the two middle schools you went to?
Beaver Lake, and then for the 7th grade thing in Germany, it was an elementary middle school. It was Robinson Barracks.
Yeah, okay.
So.
What do you like to do most with your dad?
Probably the most with my dad is what I do most with him is we talk political and international stuff. Because he knows a lot about what's going on and what's interesting with it. And but what we do is we do some war games. Like, have you heard of Axis and Allies?
What's it called?
Axis and Allies. Well, it's a board game. Just recently, they've come out with a World War I one. But we primarily do World War II, and
They do have a World War II one?
Yeah.
Of which you know everything about World War II?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
do kick
I've
his
learned
butt?
No.
Does he know even more than you do about World War II?
It's not necessarily about how much you know. It's just it's very strategic. It's not necessarily a trivia game.
How good are you at strategy?
Apparently not very good. Because I only beat him once, and he was just having really bad. So what is so it's World War II, The one that beat him it was the world scale, but they've also got just Pacific and just Europe. The world one was the one that I beat him at, and he. What you do is you have units like you've got infantry, you've got tanks, you've got ships,
Sure, yeah.
and all that, and each has their own rule, and it's different. It's instead of getting like something above, you have to get something or below, which I find is a bit strange. So he was just getting a lot of really high rolls.
So, in terms of current affairs, are you like talking a lot about Ukraine right now, for instance?
I haven't been following it closely enough.
Or what are your favorite political subjects?
Political subjects, international foreign policy.
Whose? What do you focus on?
Well, I'm doing a foreign policy project in social studies on the U.S. foreign policy towards Iran's nuclear program. So we had a huge, long talk about that over dinner.
Do you think there's hope?
Not really. After a lot, because I mean, there is a big incentive for them to stop because of how much money they're being offered. But you know, it's not looking very bright.
Think Israel will bomb them?
It's more likely, most likely, yeah.
Preventative measure to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie? I want to say it's called Promises, where it follows these Palestinian and Israeli kids when they're really young, like it was early on, like 2001, 2002, like during that time frame. And what happened was, so it followed the Israeli kids, and it talked and asked them like, "Was your feeling towards Palestinians? How like why you what's your feeling towards the Arabs? All that."
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of them, most of them said no. They really hated them. They took their land, stuff like that, which is pretty ironic.
Mm-hmm.
But then the Palestinian kids, they are a bit different. A couple of the kids actually want to get along with the Israelis, but a couple of them really don't. And then
So this is a documentary.
yeah, documentary sort of thing. And then it went to like 5 or 6 years later, and how they are now. Now all of them hate each other pretty much, except one, and the Palestinians.
Wow.
And then their thing was nominated for an Oscar, so they all traveled to L.A. They didn't win, but they said that was a good experience for all of them.
We got to know each other.
Yeah.
Cool. It's called Promises?
Yeah.
I'll try to look it up. Because that's sort of what I do, this very thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's your favorite thing to do with your mom?
I'm not really able to spend much time with her. I'm not really sure because probably the main things that we have done is just play board games like Monopoly. I mean, we've played some cribbage, stuff like that.
Do you still like to fish?
It's been harder because of what's going on in Puget Sound and primarily around our cabin. But yeah, I still try and do some fishing.
You used to love it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't love it anymore?
I mean, I still do enjoy it. It's just because of how difficult it's been. Now it's going to start costing money because I'm at the age where I have to start buying
licenses.
Yeah, and stuff like that.
The reason I ask is that when we talked about it maybe 3 years ago or so, 4 years ago, it was more than a sport to you.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost therapy to you.
Yeah.
The reason I say that is that it's like my son, who's 10,
Mm-hmm.
Oliver. Did you meet him when you did, didn't you, when you came over?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Didn't meet my little boy?
Mm-mm.
Anyway, Ollie has a hard time watching